Do I have to read that stupid thing?
You do.
I gotta go find it again.
I have it. Do you want me to read it?
Oh, read it as fast as you can. You don't talk as fast as me because I'm from New Jersey, but go ahead and try.
As a preliminary matter, this is the MAB, Linda Williams as chair. Permit to confirm that all members in person anticipated on this agenda are present and can hear me. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and take care not to share screen your computer. Anything you broadcast may be captured by recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town websites unless otherwise posted. The public is encouraged to follow as using the posted agenda unless noted otherwise. Okay. Then Linda, if you want to do your thing.
Well, there's a lot more to it, but that's probably good enough. We might as well open the meeting, call to order. We have 3 members present, Tom Erickson, Linda Williams, and Bruce Mandel. Somebody want to make a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Tom, you second?
Yes.
Okay, all those in favor, Bruce,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
and myself is yes. Okay. Well, it's no public comment. We'll segue right into Phil Garufi. Okay, he is adding an addition.
On West Way.
Yeah,
There are 2 additions on the house.
yeah. Yeah, I know this house.
I have no problem with it.
Okay, might as well just roll through here for a second. Esmeralda, how do you got to move it to the left because for some reason my block of people's faces, yeah, always blocks that right-hand side. Okay, go down one more. Do we not have all 4 sides here?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. All right, nobody has any concerns?
I reviewed it and have no problems.
Okay.
So sorry.
Does somebody want to make a motion that we have no concerns?
So
I'll make,
moved.
this is Tom. I'll make a motion that we have no concerns.
Okay, is
Second.
there a second? Okay, all those in favor, Tom,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
and myself, okay. All right, number 2, we got 3 things going on here.
On Washington Ave, on,
Yeah, for Washington Ave.
yeah, that's Bordis's house, you know, that big crooked house, you know, on, just down by the boatyard.
Yep. Okay. What are we seeing? What's up here first? The pool?
Correct. There is the pool, window well, and a new garage.
All right, let's go to the, what zone is this? Can you go back to the application page?
Yeah, all those houses, Moran's, all those houses are owned by the family.
Our
By the
own
family?
Oh, he was already here.
Yeah, coming back to the application page for a second.
Actually talking about that particular thing.
Oh, was it? I got a voicemail from him saying he can't get on his computer for email. I said, "Oh, go over to
VR,
my
they're gonna have to go to the zoning board for that. But we'll look at it. All right, the site plan?
I have a lot of background noise. What's going on?
That's in Esmeralda's office. It's almost impossible to keep the noise out because she's in the office with other people.
Cool.
This is
What are
tough.
you looking at first? The pool?
Yeah,
Okay. I have several issues with the pool.
all right, let's stay within our lane. Go ahead.
That has to
Number
go,
one,
the pool has to go to the zoning board, correct?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what we do. The zoning board's gonna make it go to us before it goes to the zoning board. I've already been through this 4 times out there.
Okay, number one, the plan calls for the installation of a 5-foot-high chain link fence supposedly concealed by non-indigenous privet. So I got two issues with that. Number one, that kind of a fence is visible and it's not in keeping with the neighborhood. And the fact that they're going to plant some non-indigenous privets around it, they don't say whether they're going to be small and then they're going to grow over the years or what, but it just is not consistent with what we're trying to do in this neighborhood.
I
Would it
agree.
make a difference? Would it make it, hold on, let's stay on one thing. Would it make a difference if it was year-round plantings?
I agree with
Are
Bruce.
year-round planting, a privet is year-round.
No, it's not. It's only good for 3 months of the year.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's another factor.
Yeah.
They should definitely have those bushes around, the chain link fence.
Well, what they mean by chain link fence is that this is pool fence embedded into a hedge, and everybody uses it here without having to put a big heavy duty fence around. Everybody's using this stuff that's webbing like in between all the hedging. Problem is that it's in privet, which is going to be useless.
If you go to the detail in the upper right-hand corner of this drawing, Esmeralda, can you drop it down? Just like,
And move
there
it to
you
the
go.
left. Move it to the left. Yeah, see, this is normal. They put this pool fence in between a double row of privet. However, most of
Yes.
the year, it doesn't do jack.
Not only that, but Linda, that's not around any fence. That's not around any pool that I have seen in Madaket.
I've seen it, but it's usually not in this, like, I'm on the road time. That's the biggest issue. It's on the road.
Well, yes.
It's
And
in the
it goes
front
all
yard.
around the pool and all around the rest of the area.
Well, does anybody besides me have a problem with where the pool is located?
I don't think they can locate it anywhere else. The pool is
I don't
very
care.
visible from Millie's, and it's visible from the neighbors. It's this property is kind of growing by, I would call it surreptitious, segregated, separated applications for growth on the property. And this is just one example.
They can't put them all on the same application. You can't have hardscape on the same application with a structure.
Well, I understand that, but we'll get into some other details later. But the thing is visible from Washington Avenue. It's visible from the neighbors, the abutting houses. There's no indication here of where the mechanical equipment is going to be located. Is it going to be in a single?
Hold on, I gotta take notes here. Pool equipment. Yep.
There should be an enclosure. It should be soundproof and it should have a cap on it so it's not visible and it doesn't make noise for the neighbors. There's no indication of whether there will be outdoor lighting, trespassing, and will the light fixtures be visible from the road?
That we don't deal with.
Well, we do in case it's visible and it's not in keeping with what we have in the neighborhood.
We have to stay in our own lane on these pools.
Okay.
Shouldn't they show where the utility, all the heaters? and everything?
Absolutely.
I'm not sure if it's in our bailiwick, but the pool coping is built within the front setback, and it should not be.
Oh, it can be. The only thing that can't be in the setback is the pool itself.
Yeah, that dotted line is the setback.
That's
Yep.
right.
It doesn't matter. You can put the, you can have, I'm more interested in what the hell they're showing here. They, if you look at, they may own a little bit more property than what's on the GIS. If you go to the GIS Esmeralda, can you go back up to the GIS map? You see this here? Do
Yes,
they
it's
own
in-
the piece next to it also? Because their map goes flush to the street, and this one has all kinds of little wonky stuff going on. And that's why I went back to the GIS map a second ago on my computer. And there's something really weird going on with their site plan.
yeah, and they've got a little sliver that gets them access to a large piece of property that fronts on the creek. It's 0.99 acres. And,
Well,
you
then
know,
how is their site plan? Take a look at the site plan again. How is their site plan straight to the street without that jog? Where is this pool going? Is it going in that little piece down there on the left by itself? You
my
see what I'm saying?
sense,
See, the house is way back here. Then
Yeah.
it jogs in, jogs back, jogs out. Now look, go back to the site plan.
That GIS map might be wrong because that's a
No, I
big,
just checked it.
well, the problem with the GIS map is it doesn't show the full width of Washington Avenue and Pops Lane. But you're right, it's skewed.
Yeah,
It's just, I think the design folks have made an error,
big time.
and I think it should be revised and resubmitted.
Well, the site plan, this site plan, if you go back to the GIS again, I just looked at the people that own the piece to the left where the jog is. I looked at this big piece right here,
Yes,
and they own all the rest of this.
yes, all those, everything to the left, the two houses to the left and that big bended house, they're all, and the one behind it's all family compound.
Not part of the Morans, is it?
I think it is.
Well, the
Because,
name is different on the GIS completely.
well, I think it's part of the family.
I don't care if it's part of the family. It doesn't
Okay.
match, the site plan doesn't match the lot.
So we should ask them to correct the site plan.
Yeah, I just don't know what happened here unless if they did that, they'd lose their frontage, unless the family gave them a whole piece of property. Go back to the site plan again.
well, there's Linda, there's the possibility that the data in the assessor's office that's used for the GIS is incorrect.
Not that incorrect. They don't own that lot next to them. That would straighten this lot out. They don't own to the left of them.
I agree with you. I think it should be revised and resubmitted.
I agree with that also.
Yeah, and I don't think the house is where it's supposed to be. Who did this? Some architect?
Yes, it was done by Moran, let's see. Actually,
Linda, even though the Cantu, it's Agent for Jean Moran, and that's part of the Moran complex.
They still can't include it if it's not part of their lot.
it appears that this was done by something called Culture Design Associates in Providence, Rhode Island, by John Paul Couture.
Well, we have no idea whether this line from the house goes straight to the street as opposed to this wackadoodle jog, because right where the jog is where they're putting the pool.
So
But
we should
that's
ask
not even
to revise
correct
that.
because the house is further back on the lot than what he's showing.
So we should ask them to revise that.
Well, we should ask him to clarify it and correct it. Let's go back
Yes.
to the site plan again.
I agree with
How
Linda.
is that possible? And plus they have a solid line in the back, and that's not correct because we both know it goes all the way back to the water. So this isn't even correct.
Well, I agree with Linda also.
But I think the other comments about the pool are appropriate to make relative to what they presented to us.
Yeah, I'll just say the coping, which can legally be in the setback. The coping's in the front yard setback.
Yes, it is. There's no mechanical equipment shed or enclosure
No,
depicted.
Can you enlarge this a little bit, Esmeralda?
And we've got an issue with the fence.
I'm just looking at that structure on the right.
So we should ask them to amend the GIS and also the pool mechanical room.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, I know they have to have a larger setback out there in Madaket.
The front setback, I think, is 20 feet.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the sides. I know there's, in the VR zone, there are other regulations. I'll check them before I put the application.
I think the 50 feet, Linda, but yeah, we should check on it.
I'm just having an issue with the pool where it's located, right on the road.
Yes. Well, they're trying to conceal it with that 5-foot-high chain link fence. And, you know, I know you're familiar with the kind of plasticky, greeny thing, but that's not what this is. This is a cyclone fence.
And you know, it's right there, right across from Millie's. I mean, that is a really heavily trafficked area.
Yes, and people park on Washington when they go to Millie's.
Yeah, but we're not responsible for that lunacy out there.
No, but my point is, it's going to be very visible.
It's right on, yeah, it's right at the intersection of Madaket Road and Washington Avenue. It's right on that point.
I know. Can you go down to the fence details, Esmeralda?
It's on the upper right-hand corner of this document. There it
Yes.
is.
No, that doesn't really give it to you. And chain link is not something we use. It's more of the pool fence, which isn't really, it's black vinyl. Did they say on the application, Esmeralda, what color this fence is?
It's on,
It says black vinyl pool fence, but I'm not sure what he's got here.
Should be green.
Well, no, they use black vinyl, actually disappears.
but a chain link, that's not a chain link
All right, now
fence.
stay right there for a second. They're on the application is incomplete. In the fence detail, see the little block on the right?
Yes.
There's no fence detail. There's no height. There's no length. There's no color. There's no material. And that has to be filled in. Down below that, a little bit further down on the application, Esmeralda, there's no detail. What is it with these people? No detail about the hardscape, the patio surround. One of the biggest issues, again, as you said, is the pool equipment. This application should be rejected because it is incomplete. I don't know if you were able to do that, Esmeralda, in the office and give it back to them because it's not complete, because people are taking applications in, as you know, that are not complete. And all they would have had to do is look at this and say, not happening. All right,
Okay,
what else do we have for this one?
Okay, there are two other components to this application that I think we should quickly review.
Can we go down to the pictures of the property while you're talking? Right there. And then down one more. I don't know if they have enough room to put it in behind the house.
I don't know why that bottom picture is even in there. It doesn't relate to what they're doing.
No, it
garage-
doesn't.
Oh,
right.
It's interesting, this picture, Linda,
That doesn't
you
help
see
them.
the top red box, you can see Millie's. That's Millie's.
No, that's not Millie's. That's the restaurant or something else. Millie's is the other direction because I'm working on that property. Huh.
I have
Oh,
no problem with the window wells because they just probably want
Well,
light.
I gotta stay on one at a time because I have to take the minutes and then try to transcribe them. What else we got going on here? Millie's is way over here, Bruce, way to the left of that, way over and down the hill. I'm working on the property that gave Millie's back to the town. That's way
Well,
over there.
What is
We-
that? Do you see the building? You see the top picture, location of proposed pool views south? You see the red box there?
Yeah, but you can't see Millie's from here, not
What-
from where this pool is.
Isn't that building, that's a house?
That's a house. That's the
Okay,
house I'm
thank
working
you.
on. That's not Millie's.
Thank you.
Millie's is the next one. You can't see it, but it's the next one over.
Well, they
Gotcha.
should relocate this pool to the rear of the house. I don't care how big a pool they want, but it shouldn't be there.
What are we, which of the three applications do you want to look at next?
Well, we're still on the pool. Is there anything else on the pool besides its inappropriateness?
Well, I think we've gone over several issues with.
Yeah.
And I think
I have to check the box. It's inappropriate.
I'd like to make a motion that we recommend that this application be rejected and revised and resubmitted and include the various comments we made, such as that you have notes of.
All right, I can't say rejected. I can say not heard because it's incomplete. It's an incomplete application for all this and all the reasons that we didn't like it because it was inappropriate. I'll lift it all out.
Well, I don't think you can say not heard then. You can just say reviewed. or
Right, I'm
something.
going to make sure that they understand it's not complete and it should not be heard until it is complete.
Okay, thank you. I make a motion that we,
All that.
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor, Bruce,
yes,
Tom?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Okay, what's the next one? The
The
window
window.
well? Let's pull it up.
But the problem is it's the same site plan, but the GIS is wrong, just like the first one. So we should
I
have
don't
them
think the
revise it.
GIS is wrong. I think the site plan is wrong.
So we should send that back and have them correct that.
All right, where's the application? Is this the
stay on that, please, right
the
there.
same stupid stuff here, I guess, huh?
Stay on that plan for a moment, please. Pull out.
It's just a few little window wells.
I
Yeah, we don't care about
understand that, but the issue here is these windows make what had been previously filed as unfinished basement. It
That's not
makes
our
it into
problem.
It makes it into a 3-bedroom apartment.
Not our problem.
Yeah, we can't say anything about that
Can't say
now.
anything about that. And if they want to put living space down there, they're going to have to deal with the health department, everybody else.
Is the application complete?
I don't know. We got to go back up to the top.
All we can comment on is the window wells. We don't know what they're gonna do in the future, but the only thing wrong with this, I have no problem with the window wells, but I think the site plan is wrong again.
Yeah, let's enlarge this a little bit, please. New window well. Okay,
Casement, double hung, simulated divided light. No one's gonna see them.
go down a little bit more. Go down. Incomplete.
Because,
First off, the profile is not listed where it says Anderson. And the other thing is there's no color.
okay. That's interesting, yes.
And they're required to put color. I
Okay.
love this little highlighting tool here.
You
Where'd
like
get
it?
Yeah.
So do you want to make a motion on that?
I make a motion that the application is not ready to be reviewed because it's incomplete. The site plan is incorrect.
Yeah.
And other elements such as the color of the windows and et cetera are not identified.
Can you go down to the site plan one more time on this one? Stay right there for a second. The site plan is not highlighted. I can see them, but they're not highlighted. And they're required to be highlighted. Again, this site plan is ridiculous. Okay. All right, all those in favor? Bruce,
Yes,
Tom,
Yes,
and myself. Okay. This one's into a world of hurt here. The next thing is The addition,
The garage, no, it's not,
the
it's a
new
garage.
garage. Yep. Okay, let's stay there for a second. Is this the new one, Esmeralda, or are we still on the window well one?
No, they use the same site plan for all
It's the
three
same drawing for
applications.
all three, Linda.
Jesus Christ. All right, same site
The
plan.
first
is
thing-
wrong.
First thing is the site plan again is wrong.
Yep,
And same comments about the application.
yep. Let's go back up to the application page. Also, just stay there for a second. Okay,
I have a question, Linda.
yeah, hang on a second. It's incomplete. They didn't fill in the grade part. I know it's flat, but they didn't fill in the grade part. They didn't fill in the height on all four sides. Who is this guy?
Probably not familiar with what needs to be submitted.
Okay, hold on. There's no pitches.
There's no what?
Can you enlarge that a little bit, please? Okay. Foundation. Pitches. Let's see. What else is he missing here?
I don't have any problem with the garage, but I do have a problem with the site plan.
Yeah, and we have a problem with the fact that it's not filled out. You go down to doors, doesn't have those on there either. He doesn't have the profile on the windows.
From the road, all you can see is the two windows on the bottom and the little, three windows on the top is face the road. The
And
one
no
in the-
colors, no colors.
What? The one in the upper right.
He has no colors on here. This application is completely incomplete.
All right, we can make comment on that also.
All right, let's go down to the elevations.
The upper right is the one that faces the road.
All right, hold on, just going down.
There, that one.
Okay.
The other, the upper right,
Can you, Esmeralda, as John would say, can you uptick that a few? Right,
the one, like I said
Kill me.
before, yeah, the one on the right is the one that faces the road.
all right, hang on a second, guys. Does anybody else see cardinal points on the plans?
See what?
Cardinal points,
No, there
east,
are
west, north, and south?
none.
And how do we know which faces the road then?
By drawing C11, you can see the, how the garage is configured.
Yeah, but otherwise, if you're not reading the site plan, which is incorrect, how do you know what faces the road?
Because you can look at the site plan. You see,
Look.
Yeah,
like,
but
the
you're not
front-
supposed to do that.
you can
The
tell-
plans are supposed to have east, west, north, and south on them. So all you have to do is look at this and you know south faces the road. You're not supposed to have to go back to the incorrect site plan.
That's right.
Yes, I agree with that.
Go down one on just the bottom, the other elevations. On the face of it, now hang on a second. Oh, for God's sakes, who is this guy? There are no dimensions, guys.
I know, it's
No
terrible.
pieces,
That
no
was one of my
dimensions.
questions. One of my issues was the lack of proper dimensioning.
Yeah, there should be dimensions on the
And there's
left
no-
side.
There's no pitches on anything. Who is this person? Esmeralda, have you ever dealt with this guy before?
No, I have not. I think it's first time I've seen his applications come through here.
All right, go down to the next page for a second. Now, does he have dimensions on this one?
There are
Okay.
some, but not much.
They basically only show the height and the,
But that's it, isn't it?
there are dimensions on the left side. On
Yeah, I
the,
see that.
There are no widths of, there's no width of the structure. There, as Linda said, it needs to be completely dimensioned.
And the people door is too tall, guys. I don't know how tall that door is. Do we have a
It's-
window schedule anywhere on here? Esmeralda, go down one more.
there are dimensions on the one that shows the car and the garage. There's dimensions on that.
Okay, is there a door schedule here?
No. Oh, wait.
I just see window.
Yes, there is on drawing A 5.1, there is, looks like a window schedule, no
Yeah,
door.
there's no door schedule.
Right.
And that door is too tall. The people door is too tall.
It's probably a
It's the same height, it's the same height as the garage doors. That's insane. And we don't know the dimensions of the door. We have no idea how big the door is. I know how big it is, but there's no dimensions on it.
Linda, I want to ask you a question that I think you'll be able to answer. They're building a studio apartment above the garage. And
Uh,
there's no
where's the floor plan?
exterior, excuse me?
can we go back up to the floor plan?
Yes, go
Wherever
up.
that is.
I'll
What
tell you.
does that say? That's not a studio apartment.
It says studio.
Yeah, studio, that's in our vernacular here, a studio is not the studio in New York City.
It
Does
may not,
that mean-
it may
does-
not, it may
does
not,
that- Let me ask my question. Does that need an exterior stairway?
No, it's not a residential structure.
it's an
And it can't
interior
have a
stairway.
residential structure.
Okay, thank you. That was my question.
Only if there's an actual kitchen up there and it's going to the planning board as a secondary dwelling, which this is not. They may illegally use it for that purpose, but that's not our problem.
Well, we'll get to that on a different submittal.
Well, that's the building department's problem.
Yeah, not ours, and it's a health department. They're not going to allow it there, so that
Only,
messes
yeah,
that.
the design, the only thing, the design is our problem. The design is ours, but we have nothing to do with the inside.
Well, that's why I was asking whether an exterior stair was needed.
No, only when it's a residential, actual secondary residential structure.
It's an interior stairway.
All right, so somebody want to make that motion based on everything we just said?
So made,
I'll
Okay,
second.
Bruce. Okay, all those in favor, Bruce,
yes.
Tom?
Aye.
Okay, myself. Well, why do we keep getting these? Problem child. All right, now we got 301 Madaket Road.
There are two applications.
Yeah. First one's gonna be the demo shed, new shed. Do we have any problem with removing a shed?
No. I have no problem. I
Is
have
the
no problem.
application complete?
That, I don't know. That's an interesting looking shed, though.
It's been
I
there
have no
forever.
problem. I have no problem with the demolition.
Well, here's a question. Does anybody know how old that shed is?
Very old.
Well, then there may be an issue.
Hold on, I'll tell you. According to this, according to the field card, it was
That's a-
built in 1955,
Rare.
according to the field card, which I printed.
I'm looking for that myself.
Single family MO, year built 1955.
No, that's the house, not the shed.
I don't think the shed is filed separately.
Oh, yes, it is. Every structure on the property. If it's a structure that they can date, they date it.
Okay, I
It's not-
couldn't,
It's
I
not
couldn't,
dated on it's not dated on the card and we can't go off the house.
gotcha.
Okay. Nobody has any issues with demo shed?
Not with the demo.
Okay. Somebody want to make that motion?
The motion, okay, I make the motion. There's no concerns.
Okay. Bruce, you second?
Yes,
Okay, all in favor, Tom?
Aye.
Bruce?
aye.
Okay, and I'm okay. Unanimous. Okay, so we got 301 new shed.
Okay, my comments are.
Hold
this is-
on. Hold on. Let's look at, oh, they've got a pretty complete application page.
Yeah, it's pretty complete. It's got the dimensions, it's got the window and door schedule. It looks pretty good. It's just a little shed.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Can we go to the site plan? I don't
It's
know
in the
why they don't. There we go.
It's roughly in the same place.
Yep. Yeah, anybody have any concerns? It's funky. The pitch is kind of bizarre.
I have a comment, please, Linda.
All right, hang on. They should add add pitch to the drawing.
There's no north-south, obviously, that I saw.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there
There
is.
There is
Okay.
north and south east, so I really don't have any concerns.
This
All right,
is not,
go back up for a second so I can see what the pitches are. That's the thing that's troubling me is the pitch.
Oh, you want him to add, do you want him to revise it and send it back?
I'm just looking to see what it is. It's a 6 pitch. That's why it looks so odd. Now, normally, guys, do they have the colors below? I hate it when people keep saying to match existing, but you have no idea. There we go.
it says natural to weather. Oh, no, they crossed it out.
Yeah, they're matching the house. Not a big deal.
Colors,
Um,
white, white.
The issue may be is the pitch. They've got a 6 pitch, which is why I was looking at the pitch. And normally we don't allow anything less than a 7 pitch. So we can just sort of point that out. If they want to go with a 6 pitch because it's so small. What are the dimensions on this thing about right up the top of this one?
We should make a recommendation to raise the pitch.
I think so. I think the 6 pitch is what's bothering me. It's throwing it off. Nothing else about it throws anything off, but it's throwing it off. And it's not a zoning shed. It's 221 square feet. So it's not a zoning shed. So
It's not even a shed. This is an apartment, a guest apartment. It's
What?
got a sink. It's got a pull-out couch. It's got a dining table.
Well, that's not our purview, though.
not our problem. But can you enlarge that? So we
But
can
should
see?
they describe this, should the description of this be a shed?
Yeah, it's a shed for all intents and purposes for an exterior thing. No, the site plan, the floor plan, there it is. They can do their little thing out there. They just can't put a stove and a bed in there. So we're not talking about pull-out couches. It's a studio and we don't care about the use. For our purposes from the exterior, it's a shed. Okay. Otherwise, exterior, except for the pitch, do we have any issues with it?
That's the only concern of mine. I agree with you, Linda.
Yeah, it's just too flat. And it's got a tail on it. It just looks weird, not having the right pitch. All right, Tom, you want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Bruce,
Yeah, I guess I'll second it. It's just annoying as hell to me that we have this density creep in Madaket, and it's okay.
well, it's smaller than the one that's there. So it's not really a density creep for us to be concerned.
Well, the one that's there is not used as a guest house or a secondary structure.
It's not a secondary dwelling and it's not a guest house.
I
It's a shed.
understand.
What they do inside it, other than those uses, they want to put a sitting area. It looks like he's got a desk there. If he wants his own little place to do work, that's not our problem. They'll have to deal with that at the health department. All right, Tom? Yes?
Yes,
Bruce?
Yes.
Just on the design and myself, okay. Okay. We got here 14 Oakland.
I think 14 and 40 are the same ones, basically. They're both owned by the Borders family. You know, it's way down the end
Yeah.
of Tennessee by the boatyard.
Yeah, we got to take them separately.
Yes,
Okay.
the first one is 14 Oakland.
Yep, we got an addition going on.
There's a couple little bumps here and there.
Well,
And the north elevation is the back towards the water, even though we do have that purview also.
this is a conundrum.
You can just see the roof elevation from the front, the additions in the back.
Yeah, let's go to the next page.
Well, it can certainly be seen from Hither Creek.
Here's the problem. It doesn't read as an additive mass anymore. They flushed the wall. They flushed the roof almost. They're taking away the additive mass, making the main mass extend, basically, which is throwing this house off.
Well,
Completely.
on the first sketch, see the existing on the left, that
Yeah,
little U-shaped notch? They're filling
Yeah.
that in. They're filling that in.
yeah, they're filling it in, but they're flushing the wall, which means there's no additive mass. This is one big solid mass now.
That's right.
Well, if you look, they do, if you look at the ridge, it does step down.
Not enough, because if you look at the wall below, it's flush.
Yes,
I think it's required to step down 6 inches or 1 foot.
Yeah, but that's, the wall has to do the same thing and it's not.
There,
Who did this one?
yeah, I know what you're saying and I agree with you.
Botticelli and Pole. What's it? Can we go back to the site plan for a second, please? Page 2,
yeah.
the next one. Yeah, site plan.
The one with the red box?
There we
Yeah.
go. I don't mind them getting a second floor space out of it, but I'm having a lot of problem with flushing that front wall. How about the floor plan, which is down below? You can see where it's flushed. Yeah. You see it goes straight across now? It doesn't jog in enough on the, see the floor plan up on the upper left? They're filling in the porch and flushing that wall straight across. Well,
Well, even though the roof plane is the same and flush, it still has that step down. And on the lower part, there is the jog, from that lower part where that little gable is.
not enough. Let's back to the first page of the elevations.
Linda,
Yeah.
on the floor plans, Linda, should the addition be highlighted or clouded for clarity?
No, not, well, it should be, but not necessarily. They should do it at the same on the floor plan, but they don't. A lot of people don't. But see this thing here? I don't know who approved that deck. We should have been shot. But besides that,
Obviously,
the roof is not breaking. It's going straight across. It doesn't matter if they've dropped that pit, that dropped at 6 inches. If you look at the roof plane, it's going straight across, and that is just bizarre.
yes, I agree.
Okay, I'll go along with that.
I don't mind getting rid of that wonky deck. I don't think we approved. And it shouldn't be a gable dormer.
Do you think that deck was built or it's just on this plan and it's going to be submitted sometime in the
No,
future?
if you look at the existing, they do have a deck, but the deck is extending to the right, which makes no sense. But it shouldn't be a gable dormer. It should be a shed dormer. Why are we putting a formal dormer in a little teeny weeny connector?
Well, it's a gate. Oh, I see what you mean.
It should be a shed dormer.
Yes.
It shouldn't be, it shouldn't be, and it's next to a shed. What is that? What is that? Why is that? That's stupid.
That's existing.
Yeah, so the shed dormer is fine.
Well, it sort of matches the same pitch on the existing gable on the left.
It doesn't matter. It's a secondary element. It should be a shed dormer. They're adding a formality on a flush dormer on top of it that they shouldn't be adding on this. But it's just bizarre the way they're doing this. It's not, this is weird. This addition, this little thing in the middle is just weird. I understand it's almost a flat roof element in between, but just put a roof on it then. There's just something atypical about the connector now. How much of this can you see from the water, Tom?
You can only see the north elevation from the water.
Yeah, I know, but how much can you see of it?
The whole thing.
You can just see that, you can just see the rear plane of the roof.
All right, might as well go to the next page of the elevations. Yeah, see, this is completely bad. This is completely bad. Because you've got a flush wall now. No additive mass. And the roof again.
Yeah,
It needs to have some definition. There's no definition anymore. They're pulling the whole addition out towards the, and flushing the whole wall across. That's just odd. It looks very odd. And it is visible from the water?
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Okay, somebody want to make that motion?
And what you're looking at there is not the north elevation, by the way.
On the north elevation,
The north elevation is on drawing A21.
yes.
Yeah,
That's the north elevation.
that is just odd.
Yeah, but even if it was a shed dormer, it might look a little odd compared to the gable left and right. So whether, if you made it a shed, it would match the right, but if now it matches the existing gable on the left, so I really don't think it matters that much.
So it's visible. Oh, that's a gable dormer. That's not a dormer. That's not a gable dormer. That's a gable. It shouldn't be a gable dormer. So back to the roadside. How much of it can you see from the road?
Oakland Street's a private road and
It doesn't matter.
You'd be able to see the entire south elevation.
Yeah,
I mean, Oakland is parallel to Tennessee. They own
Yes.
the lot in front of that. Where it's printed Oakland, there's that lot. So it's down the road, or it's down,
It's Oakland's perpendicular to Tennessee.
yes.
makes the turn. Yeah, that south wall is just weird. That throws the whole thing off completely. All right, so I want to make that motion of these concerns.
So made.
Okay. Tom, you second?
Yes,
I'm all in favor. Tom,
yes.
Bruce,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. What is it with people? God, all right, we got 40 Tennessee.
This is
That's
the
also,
same number.
That's another addition.
Yes.
Okay, let's go there.
the Oakland Avenue on the left.
We're not there at the site plan on the screen.
This one's, it's Tennessee, it's closer to Tennessee Avenue,
It's the corner, yeah.
Yeah,
Right
right on
on-
the corner.
right under the application, is, you see the roof plane on the second page. Yeah, you have it there.
Okay,
I'm going to scroll down and look at the addition.
yeah, go down one.
They're adding a little deck on the second floor. They're adding a little covered, adding a little covered stoop on the right.
Well, they're adding an entire addition to it.
Yes. And they're adding that big addition on the left on the third drawing down.
Okay, let's go to the next one. It's one of those weird little additions. Does anybody care?
Well, on this one, it's all shed roofs like it was before. So this one looks better than the other one.
Yeah, and a broken back, who cares? All right, anybody have any concerns about this one?
No, I have no objection.
Bruce?
Not that pertain to how it looks.
I'm not talking about use.
I understand. That's why I said it like that.
All right, so Tom, you want to make a motion? There's no concern.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Bruce?
Second that motion.
Okay, Tom in favor?
I,
Bruce in favor?
Yes.
Myself in favor. Okay.
I think that's it.
Okay, that's it. Well,
Okay, everybody have,
Washington, look
everybody
out.
have a nice Valentine's Day.
You too.
Happy
Somebody's gotta make a
Valentine's
motion.
Day, Linda and Esmeralda.
We gotta
Yeah.
make a motion to adjourn, guys. Don't go anywhere. Tom, you make that motion?
I'll make that motion to
Bruce,
adjourn.
you second?
Second,
All in favor, Tom?
Aye.
Bruce?
yes.
I myself. Everybody be safe out there. We're adjourning at, I'm just gonna say 11 o'clock, not 10:59.
Okay, have a good day, everyone.